Can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds without wobbling? If you're over 70 and answered yes, congratulations, you're already in the top 5% of your age group. This simple test predicts your risk of falls better than many expensive medical tests. Think of balance like a tree's roots. Strengthening them keeps you standing tall through life's storms. If you struggle with this test or care for someone who does, don't worry. Today I'm sharing 5 evidence-based habits that separate the healthiest seniors from everyone else. By implementing even one of these practices, you could transform stability and independence for yourself or your loved one. Did you know that falls are the leading cause of injury and death in adults over 65? It's a sobering statistic, but there's a simple test that can reveal if you're at risk. I'm talking about the one-leg stand test, a deceptively simple challenge that only about 5% of seniors over 70 can successfully complete. Here's how it works. Try standing on one foot without holding onto anything for support. Can you maintain your balance for at least 10 seconds? For many younger adults, this seems trivially easy. But for those over 70, this basic skill becomes surprisingly difficult. Research shows that more than half of adults in their 70s struggle to hold this position for even 10 seconds. And that single fact tells us volumes about their health outlook. Your ability to balance on one leg is actually a window into your overall health and independence. When researchers followed seniors over time, they discovered something alarming. Those who couldn't pass this simple test had nearly double the mortality risk compared to those who could. Good balance indicates overall physical function and health, affecting everyday activities from climbing stairs to reaching for items on high shelves. What makes this concerning is how silently balance deteriorates. Unlike obvious signs of aging like wrinkles or gray hair, balance decline happens beneath the surface. Many seniors don't realize they're losing this critical skill until they experience their first serious fall. Perhaps a stumble while stepping off a curb, or a sudden loss of stability while turning to answer the phone. By then, they're already in the danger zone. The physical mechanisms behind balance loss work together to create a perfect storm as we age. Our core muscles weaken with sedentary lifestyles, proprioception diminishes, and our vestibular system degrades. The vestibular system changes are particularly impactful, as the structures in our inner ear deteriorate. It's like trying to navigate with a faulty GPS. Your body gets confused about which way is up. The consequences extend beyond occasional stumbles. A serious fall can trigger fractures, head injuries, and hospital stays. Even more troubling is the fear that develops afterward. This creates what doctors call a cycle of debility. Seniors avoid activities they once enjoyed, further weakening their muscles and making falls more likely. As one 78-year-old patient described it, "After my fall, I stopped going to my garden club. I was too afraid of tripping. Within months, I felt weaker and less steady than ever." The emotional toll is severe. Many seniors become anxious when walking on uneven surfaces or in crowds. Some become reluctant to leave home without assistance, leading to isolation and depression. But balance loss isn't inevitable or irreversible. The brain and body remain remarkably adaptable, even in our later years. With targeted balance exercises that progressively challenge stability, most seniors can significantly improve their balance in weeks. Simple practices like standing on one foot while holding a counter, then gradually reducing support, can create dramatic improvements. Adding Tai Chi or specific yoga poses accelerates this progress. The results can be transformative. Seniors often report feeling steadier within 2 weeks of regular practice. After a month, many confidently navigate situations that would have terrified them before. Those who continue for 8-12 weeks often demonstrate balance skills that put them in that top percentile of their age group. The payoff extends beyond avoiding falls. Improved balance allows seniors to remain active, independent, and engaged in life, enabling a fuller, more vibrant life in the later years. Balance helps you stay on your feet, but what happens when you do end up on the ground? A shocking truth most seniors face is that even if they remain uninjured after a fall, many cannot get back up without assistance. This seemingly simple act getting up from the floor without using your hands, places those who can do it in an elite category. In fact, less than 5% of people over 70 can perform this basic movement independently, making it an extraordinary predictor of your future independence. The floor test reveals crucial information about your body's capabilities. Try it yourself. Sit down on the floor and then attempt to stand back up without using your hands or knees for support. What many take for granted in their younger years becomes a comprehensive evaluation of multiple physical attributes as we age. Strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination all working together like a well-oiled machine, each component engaging at precisely the right moment to lift your body against gravity. When you can't get up from the floor independently, you face a dangerous vulnerability. Imagine reaching for the TV remote that slipped behind the couch. As you kneel down, you lose balance and find yourself sitting on the floor. Suddenly panic sets in as you realize you can't push yourself back up. Hours might pass before a family member arrives, creating not only physical discomfort, but profound anxiety about your independence. Getting up from the floor requires your core to provide stability, your legs to generate power against gravity, your nervous system to coordinate movements in sequence, and your joints to position your body correctly. Like gears in a clock, when one element falters, the entire mechanism fails. This movement carries significant implications for longevity, correlating strongly with mortality risk, often more accurately than sophisticated medical assessments, because it directly measures your ability to navigate everyday life independently. Modern lifestyles have contributed to this problem. When was the last time you intentionally sat on the floor? Most homes are designed with furniture that eliminates the need to lower ourselves to ground level. Unlike our ancestors who routinely sat on the ground for meals and socializing, today's seniors might go months without performing the floor-to-standing movement, resulting in a skill that atrophies through disuse. As this ability diminishes, your world begins to shrink. Gardening becomes challenging because kneeling means needing help to stand. Playing with grandchildren on the floor becomes anxiety-inducing rather than joyful. Cultural activities involving floor sitting become impossible. Each avoidance compounds, creating a gradually shrinking circle of experiences due to physical limitation. The encouraging news is that this fundamental ability can be restored with targeted practice, regardless of your current fitness level. Simple exercises like supported squats rebuild leg strength, practicing floor-to-standing transitions, beginning with assistance and gradually reducing support, retrains your body's mechanics. Core strengthening exercises rebuild stabilizing muscles. Even seniors who haven't sat on the floor in years can progressively reclaim this crucial skill through consistent practice. By rebuilding this capability, you'll experience improvements in overall mobility and confidence in movement. This isn't just about recovering from a potential fall. It's about expanding your world again, regaining the freedom to move through life without fear, and preserving your independence for years to come. Physical strength gives you freedom to move. But there's a nutritional paradox that's quietly undermining seniors' health across America. As we age, our bodies actually need more protein while requiring fewer calories overall, creating a dangerous gap that few doctors discuss with their older patients until weakness and frailty have already set in. You might think you're eating well, plenty of vegetables, whole grains, and the occasional fish dinner. But beneath the surface, your muscles are disappearing at an alarming rate. After 70, without adequate protein and regular exercise, you could be losing 3 to 5% of your muscle mass every single year. Compound that loss over 5 years and you've lost up to a quarter of your strength and mobility. This muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, affects your entire body in profound ways. Your metabolism slows, making weight gain more likely even with unchanged portions. Your bone density decreases faster without the pulling force of strong muscles, raising fracture risk substantially. The impact extends to your immune system, which depends on protein to create antibodies that fight infections. I remember working with Marta, a 78-year-old who couldn't understand why she felt so weak despite her healthy diet of salads and toast. After tracking her intake, we discovered she consumed barely half the protein her body needed. Within 3 months of adjusting her meals, she regained enough strength to garden again, something she thought she'd lost forever. Many seniors operate under outdated nutritional guidance. The standard recommendation of 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight simply doesn't support muscle maintenance after 70. Geriatric nutrition experts now suggest 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram, nearly double the standard amount. For a 150-pound person, that's approximately 80 to 100 grams daily, rather than the previously recommended 55 grams. The challenges seniors face with protein intake are both practical and psychological. Reduced appetite makes once satisfying portions seem overwhelming. Dental problems make protein-rich foods difficult to chew. Grocery shopping and cooking become more challenging, leading to reliance on convenient but protein-poor processed foods. Protein deficiency affects cognition too. Protein provides building blocks for neurotransmitters that allow brain cells to communicate. Without sufficient protein, cognitive function can decline, affecting memory, processing speed, and mood. That mental fog might be related to what's missing from your plate. Addressing this protein gap requires strategic changes, not a complete dietary overhaul. Spread protein intake throughout the day rather than consuming it all at dinner. Aim for 25 or 30 grams at each meal to optimize muscle maintenance. Imagine transforming your breakfast toast into a power meal by adding 2 scrambled eggs and a yogurt for 25 grams of protein. Turn a plain lunch salad into a muscle-preserving powerhouse with 3 ounces of chicken, a sprinkle of seeds, and a hard-boiled egg. For those with chewing difficulties, consider fish, scrambled eggs, hummus, or smoothies with protein powder. A breakfast smoothie with Greek yogurt, a spoonful of nut butter, and fruit delivers substantial protein without requiring chewing. Timing creates powerful synergy. Consuming protein within 30 minutes after any physical activity dramatically enhances its muscle-preserving benefits. Even after a gentle walk around the block, having a protein-rich snack creates the perfect condition for maintaining strength. This simple habit, linking movement with immediate protein intake, might be the most important dietary change you can make to preserve independence as you age. What separates the 5% of seniors who thrive into their 90s from those who decline rapidly after retirement? The answer isn't found in their medical charts or genetic profiles. When researchers followed seniors for over 2 decades, they discovered that those who maintained a strong sense of purpose lived an average of 7 years longer than those who didn't, regardless of their physical health at retirement. Purpose is a biological necessity. Your body responds to having meaningful direction in your life. When scientists measure the immune systems of seniors with a clear sense of purpose, they find measurably stronger responses compared to those who lack direction. The absence of purpose creates a genuine health crisis that some researchers now consider as dangerous to your health as smoking. Consider Maria, who at 75 began teaching English to immigrant families 2 mornings a week. Within a year, her doctor reduced her blood pressure medication and noted improved markers across her blood work. Maria's experience illustrates what happens when seniors maintain purpose after their career ends. For decades, your identity was likely wrapped up in your career. You were a teacher, a manager, an engineer, a nurse. Then suddenly that label disappears. Nearly 70% of seniors experience a profound identity crisis in the years following retirement, something most doctors never address during routine checkups. This identity vacuum changes your physiology. When you wake up with nothing meaningful to accomplish, your brain chemistry shifts. Motivation hormones like dopamine decrease, stress hormones increase. Your sleep patterns change. Even your immune system becomes less efficient at fighting disease. That's why seniors without purpose visit the doctor more frequently and require more medications than those with clear direction. The most dangerous period is typically the first 2 years after retirement. This is when many seniors face what researchers call purpose withdrawal. Similar to how the body reacts when removing a substance it's dependent on, your brain has become accustomed to the structure, social connections, and sense of contribution that work provided. The type of purpose that protects your health doesn't need to be grand or world-changing. Creative pursuits like painting activate brain areas associated with problem-solving. Service-oriented activities like volunteering trigger oxytocin release, reducing inflammation. Learning-focused endeavors like mastering a new language maintain neural connections that would otherwise deteriorate. The social dimension of purpose provides another powerful health benefit. When your purpose connects you with others, you create protective bonds that enhance longevity. James, at 82, started a neighborhood garden project that brought together residents of all ages. Despite his arthritis, his need for pain medication decreased as he found meaning in mentoring younger gardeners. When you have purpose, you make different daily choices. You take medications consistently, you eat better and move more frequently. You're more resilient when facing health challenges. Your nervous system operates in a more balanced state, reducing chronic inflammation that underlies most age-related diseases. Finding your post-retirement purpose can start with these simple steps. Ask yourself, what activities make you lose track of time? Identify problems in your community that move you emotionally. Consider what knowledge or skills you've accumulated that others might benefit from. Start small. Even 2 hours weekly can trigger positive biological changes. Explore mentoring programs, community gardens, or literacy initiatives. For those with physical limitations, technology offers solutions. Virtual volunteering allows meaningful contribution from home. Online communities connect people with shared interests regardless of mobility challenges. The key is finding something that gives you a reason to engage fully with the world around you. Here's something truly remarkable about your body and brain that most doctors won't tell you. The capacity to improve doesn't disappear with age. It actually persists far longer than we've been led to believe. Your brain continues forming new neural connections throughout your entire life. Your muscles can still respond to training, even in your 90s. The difference between those who thrive after 70 and those who decline? Consistency. Small daily actions compound into noticeable improvements within months. Being in that top 5% means rejecting the myth that decline is inevitable. Your future self awaits your choice today. Will you take that first step?